Hi, my name is Attorney Numan Jahangir. I am an attorney at Lahore High Court, Lahore. My contact number is +92 324 4139 397. Welcome back once again. Yesterday we have read the section 2 to 4 of Pakistan Penal Code, and today we will read from section 5 of Pakistan Penal Code to onward. So let's start. Section 5 of Pakistan Penal Code 1816. Certain laws not to be affected by this act. Nothing in this act is intended to repeal, vary, suspend. Vary means to be different from each other in size, shape, etc. Nothing in this act is intended to repeal, vary, suspend, or affect any of the provision of any act for punishing mutiny and desertion of officers, soldiers, sailors, or airmen in the service of the state or of any special or local law. Basically, it is saying that this act will not be used or repeal or affect any of the act or punish any of the act which will punish the officers, soldiers, means army personnel. There are exceptions from this act. It will not be enforced upon them. So it was section 1 to 5 was relating to chapter 1, and which was relating to introduction. Section 2, chapter 2 is relating to exceptions. So let's start to chapter 2, which is related to general exceptions explanations. So in chapter 2 general explanations, section 6 is relating to definitions in the code to be understood subject to exceptions. Throughout this code, every definition of an offense, every penal provision, and every illustration of every such definition or penal provision shall be understood subject to the exceptions contained in the chapter entitled General Exceptions. Though those exceptions are not repeated in such definition, penal provision, or illustrations. Illustration means it is saying that throughout this code, every definition of an offense, every penal provision, and every illustration of every such definition or penal provision shall be understood subject to the exceptions contained in the chapter entitled General Exceptions. In this code, there is a specific chapter assigned named as General Exceptions, and every penal of every offense or every penal offense penal provision will be subject to that general exceptions. Now they are describing the illustrations. Illustrations. Illustration A. The section in this code which contain definitions of offenses do not express that a child under 7 years of age cannot commit such offenses. Means section in this code which contain definition of offenses do not express यानी कि that section is not expressly defined that what will happen when a 7 years old will commit an offense, but the definitions are to be understood subject to the general exceptions which provides that nothing shall be an offense which is done by a child under 7 years of age. Means though nothing is expressly defined in the main sections, but exception says that anything done by 7 years of old will not be considered an offense. And now illustrations B. A. A police officer with a warrant warrant apprehends Z who has committed murder. Here A is not guilty of the offense of wrongful confinement. A police officer without warrant apprehends Z who has committed murder. Here A is not guilty of the offence of wrongful confinement, for he was bound by law to apprehend Z, and therefore the case falls within the general exception which provides that nothing is an offence which is done by a person who is bound by law to do it. Means basically whenever someone confine you without a lawful authority or apprehend you, it falls in the category of wrongful confinement. And in this illustration, it is defined as any person, any police officer who apprehends or arrests some person who will have committed the murder, then police officer will not be considered guilty of offense of wrongful confinement because he is bound by law to arrest the Z person, and it is therefore the case falls within in the case will be fall in general exceptions. So for today, just I want to just read all those sections. I have to make a video of 5 minutes. Today it has exceeded, so the rest we will study tomorrow. And till tomorrow, best of luck. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your time.